The circus train rolled through the quiet night, steam rising into the starry sky as it carried dreams from town to town. Inside a warm wagon filled with hay, Mrs. Jumbo waited anxiously. When the stork finally arrived, he delivered a tiny baby elephant with enormous ears that nearly touched the floor. Mrs. Jumbo gasped, then smiled with pure love. She wrapped her trunk around her baby, whispering softly as Dumbo tried to stand. His ears flopped forward and he tumbled gently onto the straw. The other elephants gathered around, staring in disbelief. Whispers turned into chuckles. "Those ears are ridiculous," one said. Another laughed, "He'll never make it in the circus." But Mrs. Jumbo stood proudly. "His name is Dumbo," she said. Dumbo squeaked shyly, unaware that his difference would soon become his greatest challenge. The circus lights flickered outside, unaware that a very special story had just begun. Opening night arrived with blaring music and cheering crowds. Dumbo followed the elephants into the ring, trying hard to copy their movements. But his ears dragged, flapped, and twisted around his feet. He tripped, rolled, and accidentally knocked over a tower of stools. The crowd exploded with laughter. Children pointed, adults chuckled. Dumbo froze, confused and embarrassed. His heart pounded as he tried to hide behind his ears. Seeing this, Mrs. Jumbo rushed forward, swinging her trunk protectively when a child teased Dumbo. The ringmaster shouted in anger. Guards dragged Mrs. Jumbo away, locking her inside a dark wagon marked "Dangerous Animal." Dumbo cried out, reaching for her, but she was gone. That night, Dumbo lay alone, ears wrapped around himself, the sound of laughter echoing painfully in his mind. As the circus slept, a small voice spoke from the shadows. "Hey kid, don't cry." A tiny mouse hopped onto Dumbo's ear. "Name's Timothy Q. Mouse." Timothy wasn't afraid of Dumbo's size or ears. He marched proudly across Dumbo's head, declaring, "Those ears are amazing. You just don't see it yet." Dumbo sniffed, flapping them shyly and nearly sending Timothy flying. Timothy stayed by Dumbo's side, telling him stories of heroes who were once laughed at. He promised Dumbo he'd help him see his mother again. For the first time since she was taken away, Dumbo felt a spark of hope. The ringmaster decided Dumbo would be used as a stunt. "If he's clumsy, we'll make it funny." Dumbo was placed atop a tall platform for a dangerous act. Drums rolled. The crowd stared. Dumbo's legs shook. He looked down and froze. Timothy whispered encouragement, but fear filled Dumbo's heart. He slipped and fell, tumbling through the air. The crowd screamed, but Dumbo landed safely in a net. The audience laughed again, calling him lucky, not brave. Dumbo bowed sadly as cheers rang out for the spectacle, not for him. Backstage, Dumbo felt smaller than ever. Timothy clenched his fists. "They're wrong," he said. "One day, they'll cheer for you."
Wrong! One day, the cheers will be for you!
That night, Dumbo accidentally drank water mixed with champagne meant for the clowns. Suddenly, the world felt strange. Colors danced, music bounced. Dumbo laughed for the first time in days. Pink elephants appeared, marching and swirling in impossible shapes. Dumbo danced with them, his ears flapping wildly. In the chaos, Dumbo climbed higher and higher until he realized he was standing in a tree. Morning came. Dumbo looked down in terror. He didn't remember how he got there. Timothy woke up beside him and gasped, "Kid, you're flying!" Dumbo flapped his ears by accident and floated gently down. Timothy's eyes sparkled. "Those ears aren't a curse," he whispered. "They're your wings."
You have to jump now, Dumbo. Show them you can fly.
Timothy knew Dumbo needed confidence, not tricks. He handed Dumbo a small black feather. "This," he said, "is your lucky charm." Back in the circus ring, the crowd watched as Dumbo climbed the platform again. His knees trembled, but Timothy held up the feather. Dumbo jumped. At first, nothing happened. Then Dumbo flapped his ears hard. The air lifted him. He soared above the ring. The crowd went silent, then erupted with cheers. Dumbo flew in loops, circles, and graceful dives. He wasn't falling anymore. He was flying. Dumbo became the star of the circus. Posters were printed. Crowds filled the tents. Dumbo flew higher each show, smiling proudly as applause followed him everywhere. But he never forgot his mother. Timothy convinced the ringmaster to free Mrs. Jumbo. The wagon door opened and Dumbo ran into her arms. She cried tears of joy as Dumbo lifted her gently, proving he was no longer the frightened baby she once protected. The crowd watched in silence, touched by their reunion.
Almost there, Dumbo. Almost there.
The circus packed up under a golden sunset. Dumbo soared above the train, flying freely, ears spread wide. Mrs. Jumbo watched proudly, no longer worried. Dumbo landed beside Timothy, who tipped his hat. "Told you, kid, you were special all along." Dumbo dropped the feather. It wasn't magic anymore. He didn't need it. As the train rolled on, Dumbo flew alongside it, a symbol of courage, kindness, and believing in yourself. The boy who was once laughed at had become a hero, not because he changed, but because he embraced who he was.